Hey guys, welcome to my newest video for today. For today's video I am going to be doing another what I've been reading comics and graphic novels. This one is a bit overdue because I have like 3 months worth of comics and graphic novels to talk about, so I'm just going to try and get through this as quickly as possible. So yeah, basically I have my list of what I've been reading and keeping up with. So starting off with, I did manage to catch up through to issue 74 of Nightwing. I know 75 has just come out, so I'm not entirely like 100% caught up, but I'm not gonna lie, getting through the Rick Grayson arc was a bit of a slog because I know it hasn't been popular at all, and I know obviously Joker War changed that, so that was actually really great to see Dick Grayson come back. But yeah, the whole like 20 odd issues in the lead up to it, if I hadn't been binge reading it, I think I probably would have dropped it if I'd been keeping up like more or less month to month with it. But I did catch up. I've still got one more issue, but I am interested to see where the story's going to go now that we have Dick Grayson back as Nightwing. So that was that one. And then I've been reading the Batman The Adventures Continue. I read issues 8 through to 13. I think there might be another issue out that I have to read, but I've been really enjoying this continuation on from the Batman animated series. I've been really enjoying the Jason Todd Red Hood storyline, how that's sort of fit into this universe. So I'm definitely interested to see where it's going to go and see what the conclusion to that arc is. So doing that one. And then I've been I caught up, like completely caught up with Power Rangers. So I read up to, I think the most recent issue was issue 54, because it is finishing with issue 55, and then I think it's splitting off into 2 different series. So I read up to 54 in the main series. Then I read like the Ranger Slayer, and I think I read Road to Ranger Slayer as well, which I really enjoyed. And then I read the first 2 issues of Power Rangers Dragon New Dawn, which is basically with Kimberly now in charge of this alternate universe where Tommy didn't stop being evil. So it's been really interesting so far, and the ending of issue 2 was really frustrating because I was kind of like, really? It went there? If you've read the series, you'll know the cliffhanger I'm talking about. And yeah, it really made me frustrated with what happened, especially what the consequences of the actions by that character were. So I'm interested to see how it wraps up and the fallout from that. But yes, I wasn't very happy with the character at the end of that issue. But yeah, I did been reading quite a bit of Power Rangers, and then I also have been reading, I finally got into Deceased. So I read the first volume, which is Deceased, then Deceased Unkillables, and I've been reading Dead Planet. So I read issues 1 to 4. Such a fantastic series. I haven't read, is it Hope at World's End? I haven't got into that one yet, but I have been reading the other ones, and yeah, I've loved every issue that I've read. So it's, yeah, been fantastic. Definitely worthy of all the hype that it's gotten. Then I finally, after starting this series back in 2016, I finished The Flash New 52. I had volumes 8 and 9 to read of this one, so I'm finally caught up with the New 52 Flash, so now I can jump on to Rebirth and make my way through that one. So that's sort of next on the agenda, but I did finish the New 52 Flash. Then I read issues 1 to 11 of Once and Future, which is kind of like a dark, modern take on the legend of King Arthur, and it's been really interesting so far because they added, they've just added Beowulf into this, the storyline, and yeah, I've been really enjoying seeing, this new, take on it, and I think the grandma is my favourite character in this, so I'm sort of interested to keep reading it to see more from her. But yeah, so far I've been really enjoying this series. So it's Once and Future. Then I've read issues 6 and 7 of Deadpool, another one that's sort of that I've been enjoying reading. It's because I've been wanting to get more into Deadpool, like in the comics, as I do love the movies, and I wanted to try and read as much as I can from like the comics and that. So I've been reading the more recent comics, but yeah, so far it's been like really enjoyable. And also same for Thor. I've never really read any of the main Thor comics, so this past few months I've read issues 6 through to 8, and yeah, this storyline so far have been really fantastic, and I've sort of, yeah, it's been quite interesting like reading like the Thor comics, because most of what I know is from the movies. So yeah, so it's had that one. And then I have been reading Dark Knight's Death Metal. So I read Legends of the Dark Knights, I read issue 3, and then I also read the guidebook. I think it might be an unpopular opinion, but I've actually been enjoying what I've read so far of this event. I didn't care so much for the first one, but I think I've been enjoying... I mean, I liked the first one, but I didn't like absolutely love it, and yes, but so far I've been enjoying the like the sequel spin-off series. So I think I do have another issue and a couple more of the spin-offs to read, but I'll eventually get around to that one. Then I've been reading Darth Vader. I've read issues 1 to 5. I believe there's one, I don't know if there's one more issue coming out or if it's going to continue past that, but it's basically Darth Vader going on the rampage once he finds out about Luke and that people kept his son from him. So it's been a really fantastic series, and yeah, I'm hoping there's going to be more, but I feel like it's going to be wrapping up in the next issue, so I suppose we'll see where it goes from there. Then I finally got around to reading one of my many Batman omnibuses. I read Batman Volume 1 by Grant Morrison, because I know this particular series has quite a lot of hype in the with Batman comics, and yeah, I definitely enjoyed sort of seeing all the I guess sort of the foundations to where, like what I know in the New 52 and the current comic run. So sort of interesting with that, and also obviously having the introduction of Damian Wayne and all of that, so the fallout from that. So I thought it was, yeah, quite interesting reading that one. I do want to continue reading this, because obviously because I think where this volume ends is probably, I think, the tie-in to like with the whole where Bruce Wayne's lost in the multiverse type thing. I'm not 100% sure about what the event's called, but I do have plans to continue on with it, but it's, yeah, so I did read that one. Then I read issues 26 to 28 of Venom, another series I've been really enjoying, and yeah, it's just been, yeah, sort of, like the story it's going in, and like the characters and that, so doing that one. And then also randomly I've been reading Spider-Man Noir. I've read the first 3 issues. I haven't picked up issue 4, because I do believe that's probably out, so it's been a while since I've picked up an issue, but so far I've been enjoying this alternate sort of take on Spider-Man, even though I haven't actually read any of the main Spider-Man comics. I seem to be reading all the ones around it, but not the main storyline. But so far I've been enjoying Spider-Man Noir. Then I've been continuing on with Batman, like the current run, so I read Batman 95 to 100, so I've read Joker War. I really enjoyed Joker War, and I'm curious to see what the fallout's going to be from that. And then also I read Batman Joker Warzone, which I think's the setup for what's going to happen to Batman and the Bat family in 2021, so that one. And then I've read issues 1024 to 1027 of Detective Comics, so yeah, which is basically the tie-ins. 24 to 26 took part in the like with the Joker War storyline tie-in, but yeah, 27 was 1027 was the celebrating 1,000 issues since the Batman's first appearance, so it was kind of interesting sort of reading all those different stories, so that one. And then I've been reading Young Justice. I've got up to issue 18. I know this is one of the series that's getting cancelled, I think in issue 20. I know 19's out, haven't got to that one yet, but I've been enjoying it, so it's it's been like a fun comic series. Then randomly I read The Green Hornet issue number 1. I do need to get to issue number 2 because I think a couple of issues are out now, but I liked the first issue, so enough to want to continue on with this run. And then also I've been reading Star Trek Deep Space Nine Too Long a Sacrifice. I read the first 2 issues. I need to get around to reading the next one because yeah, want to find out what's going on with the investigation and the murder and all the fallout from that. So that one. And then one of my current favourite Batman storylines is Batman Beyond. I read issues 45 to 47, so this tied up sort of like the League of Assassins trying to take, like, basically cleanse the earth with a new ice age, and yeah, it ousted Damian Wayne as who was the leader, and then yeah, it was sort of like really interesting political struggle, and yeah, then it went up into space, and yeah, I enjoyed it. So I've been, as I said, I've been really enjoying the Batman Beyond storyline. So, and then I also continued with Red Hood Outlaw. So I read issues 47 to 49. Just kind of the last, I'm not gonna lie, the last issue, most recent issue, kind of broke me a little, but I sort of knew it was coming because I knew they were probably going to break up the Dark Trinity, so to speak. But it was still sad at the end there. And then I read the first 2 issues of X Factor. I need to get back into the series because so far I've been quite enjoying this sort of take on it. It's yeah, it's got a really interesting premise, like with deciding who can bring back like mutants who have died, and yeah, the rules and everything following that. So that one. Then I read Black Cat number 12. I think this series is getting rebooted. Like, I don't think it's going to be any more from this particular storyline, so which it's a bit, so I can't remember actually. I feel like they didn't wrap up this main storyline. I think there was a couple of loose threads still in there, but oh well. I'll see where it takes the next like stories. Then randomly I read Voyage to the Stars number 1. I thought this was a fun sci-fi I guess space opera. I'll probably continue on with this one. I just haven't got, as I said, haven't got round to the next issues. And then I've been reading Teen Titans, so I read issues 44 and annual number 2 and 45. I think there's another one that's just come out, so I'm not completely caught up with it, but yeah, definitely the last few issues have sort of gone in an interesting direction with Damian's character, so I'm curious to see yeah, more fallout from that. So, and then I read the first 2 issues of Catwoman, so I thought that one yeah, because this one sort of takes place after the failed wedding in the main Batman like rebirth storyline, so I thought this one's quite interesting, and yes, I want to get more into Catwoman's, like, her story. So I did enjoy the first 2 issues, so I will continue on with that one. Then randomly I read Lumberjanes Volume One. This was just a fun, quirky, quick read. It's sort of one of the ones that I've seen going around, and I finally checked it out. I enjoyed it, and I'll probably read the other volumes as well. So then I continued on with Batman and Robin Volume 2. This is from Grant Morrison's run, so this one was Batman versus Robin, and I actually thought this one was quite interesting because I have read Batman Incorporated, which is sort of the main story where is it Death in the Family or Death of the Family? I always get these 2 stories titles mixed up with the storylines, but yeah, you can sort of see the foundations beginning in this one that sort of lead to the events of that story. So I thought that was quite interesting reading that one. And then speaking of Death in the Family, I read Batman Death in the Family. So the new Batman animated movie, which is the adaptation of this storyline, come out. I do have a copy on, like, I did order a Blu-ray copy, so it's hopefully not going to be too long to watch it. But yeah, I did. It's very interesting reading this because it obviously was written in the 80s, so it's sort of like I always find it so interesting going back to reading comics from this era. I haven't read it, like, a lot of them, but just like the language and yeah, just sort of the storylines and that. It was different, I will say that, because half of it's, yeah, obviously deals with the death of Jason Todd, and then the rest of it is like all this political intrigue with the Joker, and yeah, it was a very interesting storyline. So yeah, but I liked it. So it's like one of the like classic Batman storylines, so I finally got around to reading that one. Then randomly I read Justice League issues 51 to 52. I know there is a big chunk of Justice League that's dedicated to death metal, and I wanted to read sort of some of this like Justice League before that, so that's sort of why I read those 2 issues. Then I read the Nightmare Before Christmas graphic novel. It's Nightmare Before Christmas. It was a cute read, but obviously yeah, I'll be mainly sticking with the movie, I think, because the movie is one of my favourite holiday films, so that one. And then I read Black Widow issue number 1. Haven't got back to this series, so I think there's a couple of issues out with that one, but obviously, because at the point I read that one, the movie was supposed to come out. It's since obviously been delayed to next year, but I do want to read more Black Widow comics, so we'll be continuing on with this new series, so that one. And then also randomly I read Star Trek Hell's Mirror, which is basically introducing Khan to the Mirrorverse, which I thought was very interesting. Yeah, sort of how they played that, and with the war and what goes on in that with that universe. I thought it was it's very interesting one shot, I thought, so that one. And then the last one that I read was for this update is Doctor Who Time Lord Victorious issue number 1. So I don't know how many issues are meant to be in the comics. So I think they're doing a few different media tie-ins. So I don't know how, like, if I'll keep up with the main story, but it was fun actually reading a new series, like story with the 10th Doctor, and yeah, just sort of yeah, I'm interested to see how it's like with his team up with the Daleks and that to take on their enemies. So I think that's going to be quite interesting. But I did read the first issue, so I just have to get around to the rest of the stories with that one. So yeah, so that is basically everything I've been reading these past few months. It's, as you can see, I've been reading a lot of comics. I still have, yeah, obviously some things I need to still catch up on, but some storylines I am, like I completed, I caught up on and things like that. But I think basically out of everything I've enjoyed what I've read, so will hopefully not be as lot of a gap between these updates as this one was. So hopefully in the next couple of months I'll have another what I've been reading comics and graphic novels. But until my next video, I will see you guys next time. Bye!